Have you ever pondered why the chosen ones in stories often grapple with maintaining friendships? These characters, lauded in literature and film, carry a unique fate. They are the champions, the liberators, the ones predestined to transform the world. However, as we follow their journey, one prevalent obstacle they face is building and sustaining relationships. Their unique spiritual journey and destinies often put them on a solitary path. This spiritual journey, while empowering them, also creates a paradoxical challenge. It distances them from others. These chosen ones are engrossed in their spiritual and transformative missions, leading to an unintentional neglect of their personal relationships. Their inability to balance their extraordinary destiny with everyday friendships results in a sense of isolation. It seems like being the chosen one is not just about changing the world, but also about struggling to maintain those friendships that make our world worth living, isn't it? The spiritual path of the chosen one narrative is fraught with loneliness and solitude, a price that is often heavy to bear. Upon first glance, it paints a picture of a unique individual, singled out by destiny to tread a path that no one else can. Yet beneath the shimmering surface of divine destiny and spiritual fulfillment, there's a deep undercurrent of solitude, a solitary journey that the chosen one is destined to take. This solitude is born from the inherent design of the chosen one trope. Essentially, this narrative demands individual growth, a spiritual quest that is usually undertaken in solitude. The chosen one bears responsibilities that surpass the understanding of ordinary beings. Their unique spiritual pursuits and divine obligations set them apart, casting them adrift a sea of faces. Even more, the chosen one narrative underscores the stark distinction between the spiritually chosen individual and those around them. Their unique spiritual pursuits can be isolating, and the burden of being different, of not quite fitting in, can be challenging. The innate solitude that accompanies this divergence often hinders the chosen one's ability to forge genuine connections. And then there's the relentless pressure, the ceaseless scrutiny. Every step the chosen one takes on their spiritual path is observed, dissected, evaluated. This continuous spotlight can make it difficult for them to expose their vulnerabilities, to create meaningful relationships. Thus, the very essence of being a chosen one can obstruct the development of genuine friendships. But what does this mean for the chosen one and their interpersonal relationships? Let's delve deeper to understand the profound implications of the chosen one's spiritual journey on their interpersonal bonds. When the chosen one embarks on their spiritual journey, they're frequently depicted as a lone traveler. This portrayal often leads to an unrealistic presentation of relationships. They're expected to carry not just the physical, but also the spiritual weight of their destiny, often in isolation. This solitude can invariably impact their ability to form friendships and meaningful bonds. Think about being a chosen one, wrestling with a destiny that transcends the physical realm. The ceaseless pressure, the relentless scrutiny, and the spiritual burden could create an unbridgeable chasm between them and the rest of society. It's no surprise they're often characterized as solitary figures, detached from the very people they're predestined to guide or save. This solitude, this spiritual isolation, doesn't merely steal the chosen one's pleasure of companionship. It also robs them of the growth and enlightenment that stems from engaging with others. Friendships are not merely about shared laughter and camaraderie. They're about shared struggles, communal learning, and mutual spiritual growth. The chosen one narrative frequently omits this critical facet of human connection. In doing so, it perpetuates the myth that spiritual strength arises from solitude, not from the support and companionship of others. But just like in real life, even chosen ones require meaningful relationships to steer their spiritual journeys. So, what does this reveal to us about the significance of realistic character dynamics in storytelling, particularly for spiritual seekers? Well, it accentuates an essential reality. Characters, even those on profound spiritual journeys, should be portrayed real, relatable, and human. The chosen one trope, though compelling, can sometimes risk undermining the relatability of characters. They're often depicted as solitary seekers, burdened by their divine calling. But here's the key. Even spiritual seekers are human, and humans are inherently social. The capacity to forge genuine connections and friendships is an integral part of the human experience. These bonds enrich a character, offering them depth beyond their spiritual powers or their destined path. The dynamics between characters can introduce an extra dimension of complexity, providing platforms for conflict, evolution, and growth. Imagine a spiritual seeker with a confidant, a companion, someone they can rely on in their spiritual journey. This not only humanizes the spiritual seeker, but also opens up possibilities for exploring themes of faith, devotion, and divine love. It paves the way for a more layered narrative, where the spiritual seeker isn't just battling against existential dilemmas, but also dealing with the intricacies of human relationships. In essence, realistic character dynamics contribute to a more engrossing and credible story. They breathe life into characters, making them feel like actual people, with their individual strengths, vulnerabilities, and relationships. They remind us that even those destined for spiritual enlightenment need companionship, understanding, and love. After all, even spiritual seekers are human, and humans are social creatures. So how do you feel about the challenges chosen ones face in keeping their friendships intact? Spark some engaging dialogue in the comments below, and if you're intrigued about spiritual character development, our video on that subject is a must-watch. Remember, even chosen ones wrestle with relationship issues. Until our next meeting, happy storytelling.